Are we recording right now?
But it's recording.
Recording now.
Okay. Her podcast.
The name is actually like really cute.
Oh,
Well, here we are. Here we are.
Barely made it, but we're here.
We're here. It's been an interesting day so far.
Guys, like, we've literally tried to sit down and record this podcast like 3 or 4 times.
I feel like it's been 10.
It's an all-day affair.
We went and got new
sure.
mics. We went and charged the battery. But here we are.
We're here.
And we're happy to be here.
Yes.
Welcome to
the
Love Her
Podcast.
Right now, my fiance is in the back making fun of us. So,
Yeah, we do have 2 executive producers, our partners, Luke and Mackenzie.
all right, let's not give them that title. I don't know about that.
But let's just say we did have some technology challenges, and they helped.
A little bit.
A little bit.
But anyways, we just want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. This is a podcast that has been in the making for a while now, and we just want to come on here and be able to be a voice for all women out there and be able to allow this to be a space that we can all come together and relate to one another and really just share stories and experiences and love each other. Right?
100%. And Nyia and I are cousins. I'm 24, she's 25, and we very much lived parallel lives. We grew up on opposite sides of the country, but we were raised by women that were sisters, and we have so many different life experiences, some similar, some different, and I feel like we have some really good insight to share. So I'm so excited for us to kind of share what our journeys have looked like in hopes that it'll help some of you and that it'll inspire change and healing and just us all becoming our greatest versions of ourselves.
Yeah, we really have been on a journey together within the last year, just trying to do just that, trying to grow from our traumas, break generational curses, and do all the things that bring us to the highest version of ourselves. So we're really excited for you all to be here. This is a letter to you guys from us. Love her.
So with that, the inauguration is this week.
You really want to talk about the inauguration? When is it? The same day as MLK Day.
The same day.
Yeah, and as Black women, just kidding. We are not going to get into that deep of a topic just yet, but we do want to kind of shed light on what has occurred as women. With the results of the election, it has truly been a moment for us that we do want to kind of discuss in this episode. However, I think we're going to also just introduce ourselves. Did we already do that?
We kind of did, but we can, I guess, go a little bit deeper.
Yeah, let's do it.
So I'm Janessa. I'm 24. I currently live in Charlotte, but I grew up in Massachusetts. I grew up with 2 special needs brothers, and with that just came its own set of experiences and challenges. And even though I'm only 24, I honestly feel like I'm like 35 in the amount of life experiences
Seriously.
I've had.
Yeah.
But despite the difficult things I faced in my life, I feel like I've gained so many good things, and I'm blessed with the best family, with the best partner, the best friends. And I truly believe that life is whatever you make it. And I'm excited to share my journey, share my life with you all. And yeah.
Yeah, and I'm Nyia. I am 25 years old. I live in Atlanta. We are both city girls. City girls eventually going to live not in the city. But yeah, we're both city girls, and we definitely both have backgrounds with a lot of experiences, lots of things that have made us who we are today, and we're excited to continue sharing those with all of you. This year, we really have kind of dedicated ourselves to healing ourselves, past traumas, breaking generational curses, and just really kind of bringing each other closer together and bringing our families closer together. This is actually the first holiday season that we will be spending together for both holidays. Well, not technically both holidays, but we're making it a mission to spend both Thanksgiving and doing something for Christmas with our families, because we just understand now more than ever the importance of kind of having your own, what's the word? Covenant? No.
Traditions?
Not traditions, but what's the word? Tribe. having your own
your
tribe. Yeah.
Yes.
So we understand and really appreciate the value in that, and we're just trying our absolute best to be able to do that. And with this podcast, we also want to kind of get a tribe of women together too. People that,
100%.
are like-minded, that want to come together and really just impact the world for the better, because there's just so much that we've got to do.
So much.
There's a lot of work to be
So
done.
much.
Yeah.
And I think something we've both realized is that with a tribe, you can choose the people, and you kind of do have to mindfully choose the people that you want closest in your life.
Yeah.
Because the people you surround yourself with are kind of the people that you become.
Yeah.
And so us in this stage of life, being in our mid-20s, we are trying our hardest to get those people together, create these traditions so that when we have a family, everything is set and we're really just around incredible people.
Yeah, because it really is. The people that you surround yourself really mean everything. And I think that shows this year in our lives, because we started on a journey of healing and just really kind of deep diving into all of the things that make us who we are today and how we can grow from all the things that we've been through. And with that, we see it come out in our partners, our parents. We see that healing kind of showing up even in our friends with the little things that we share with them. It really just goes to show that when you surround yourself with good people, your life ends up flourishing. And we're hoping that, we can also share that light with you guys.
Definitely. And I think, like, for me personally, I listen to a lot of podcasts, and I'm always kind of looking for that positive energy. I'm looking for other women that have the same kind of mission of just always wanting to be the best versions of themselves, wanting to be good partners, good moms in the future, whatever that may look like. And so this is the source for you guys, really. Like, we want to shed light to all different areas, whether it be women's health or current events or relationships. We want to share our experiences and really share opinions from experts, get the facts for you guys, so that we all together are educated women all doing this thing together.
Yeah. Well, speaking of light, I'm curious to know what in your life right now is bringing you light.
I think right now what is bringing me light in life is being in this phase of life, my mid-20s, and living with my partner, Luke. I'm kind of in a space where it's like I am creating my own reality day by day. Yeah. And Luke and I have kind of created this very peaceful aura in our home. Like, it's just so calm and loving and supportive, and knowing that I have family close by that's also calm, loving, and supportive is just something that gives me so much light every day. And I think for a lot of us, especially people that had difficult childhoods, I know that our homes weren't always a place of light and safety. And so for me, that's something that I'm extremely grateful for right now.
Yeah, yeah.
What about you?
I'm going to piggyback off of what you were saying, that I just think overall the journey that we're on is bringing me so much light and a sense of purpose that I didn't always have. And because of this journey of just healing and growing and really getting to know myself as a woman is something that I have been so grateful for within the last few months. I just think that one of the best gifts you can give yourself is the gift of therapy. The gift of exploring your inner struggles and really looking at yourself from within and tackling those things that you wouldn't normally do on a day-to-day. And yeah, I think that every morning I wake up and I'm just like, okay, like it's another day to navigate whatever life throws at me. And of course, every day isn't easy. I'm not even going to sit here and act like it's rainbows and butterflies, although I wish it was. Just knowing that I have such a supportive system. Mackenzie and I definitely were on a journey together too, and we get to kind of share the knowledge with other couples and other friends and family members, and yeah, it's just a beautiful thing, truly.
And our mentor, we have the same therapist mentor. She's an incredible woman, and she's certainly probably going to be a guest on this podcast one day. But
we're getting her on.
You guys better be ready because she's amazing.
Yeah.
But she always says every day is another day to get it right.
Yeah.
And I feel like once you start kind of doing the work, you just see every day as a new opportunity to get it right, to do life in a way that makes you want to be who you truly are meant to be.
Yeah. Well, I think that is important for us to talk about now, a little bit of a harder topic. What is so funny over there?
They're making fun of us.
Anyways, it's fine. So I want to get into a deeper topic that really brought us here to this podcast, okay? So as we all know, we just went through an election. The inauguration is now coming up. Yeah. And we're going to kind of talk about how that affected us and how that brought us here.
I guess to kind of start, like, what was your experience waking up that morning after the election for you personally?
Well, for me, I had such high hopes that it would go in a certain direction, and I think we all kind of know what that direction is. And when it did not, I honestly mourned. I didn't think I was going to react in such a way, but it was just a lot of fear. Not just coming from me, but from so many women out there that felt the same way that I did, because there are just so many things that have been dangled over our heads for so many years, and it felt like the dangling has now stopped, and now that might, become reality.
Yeah.
So that was so fearful, and not even just me being a woman, but also my partner, my fiance, is a woman too. Like, two women being in America, and that being something that's being dangled over our heads, just not being able to live in a country that has a leader that's so supportive of who we are as a whole, our family, our future, is something that was really hard for me to swallow as well. And I cried and cried and cried, and then I literally sat there and was like, there's something that's got to be done. I can't just sit here and continue to mourn, because that does absolutely nothing. So I sat and thought to myself, what can we do? And so many ideas ran through our heads. And so then I texted Janessa and was like, there's something that we need to do. There's more that needs to be done. And so that's kind of what brought us here.
Yeah.
But I am curious to know, because I remember I texted you and you seemed so chill about it.
It was a very weird experience for me, because I go to bed early. Literally I go to bed at 9:30. And that night I went to bed a little bit later, but I was like, I'm too stressed. Yeah. I need to just sleep it off and see what happens in the morning.
Yeah.
And I remember waking up, and it was the exact same way I woke up in 2016 when he was elected. I woke up at 6 a.m, looked at my phone, Googled who won the election, and I saw that it was Donald Trump.
Yeah.
And I was in disbelief, but also there was a part of me that was like, there has to be a reason why this is happening right now, because I truly believe that everything happens for a reason. And like you, there was a period of mourning throughout the day. I was heavy. It really felt like a death. Like when someone dies and you just don't even know what to do with yourself, that's how I felt. Yeah. But throughout the day, I kept saying, like, there has to be a reason why, there has to be. And what I kind of came to the conclusion was that I think sometimes people need to experience very specific things so that they can learn the lesson and move on from it. Yeah.
And that's what our country
needs right now. Like, it
wasn't going to stop.
It wasn't. Yeah. We're so caught up in the fact that we focus on these external things like economics and all these things. And I'm not saying that those things don't matter whatsoever. But what I'm saying is I think we've lost a lot of human-to-human compassion. Yeah. And I can't help but think that this happened so that we can gain some of that.
Yeah. I mean, I totally agree. A few minutes ago, I texted Janessa, and she was very calm about it. But we also handle things so differently.
We do.
Even if we have the same emotion towards it, I am more very outward with my emotions, and she kind of is more inward with her emotions. But, as we talk through things, we really do realize that not only do we share the same emotions, so many women out there share the same emotions as us towards this matter. And even if the woman that didn't outwardly share those emotions, I feel like they eventually will, because it is something that truly affects all of us.
All of us.
Yeah. As minorities, as women, LGBTQ. Did I say that right, babe?
LGBTQ.
Guys, I never say the letters right, and I'm part of it. LGBTQ. Okay.
You got it, girl.
As long as I include all the letters? No.
It's okay, girl.
Okay. Anyways, you know what I mean. A part of the community, just so many minorities out there. We are all affected. And even if you're not a minority, like, a lot of people understand the repercussions of what happened.
A lot. If you know a woman, if you know a person of color, if you can have empathy for anyone, I think you understand that this can be a difficult situation for people.
Yeah.
And I think that right now we need to hang on to those that are close.
Yeah.
And something that I'm so grateful for is the morning after, we have this family group chat with us, with aunts, cousins, and I looked in the group chat and it was just loving messages. Like, I love you all. Like, the fight is not over.
Even the littles.
Yes, Nya's younger siblings, they're in high school, and their messages were so sweet and encouraging. Yeah. And I'm really so grateful that we have that, truly.
Yeah, we didn't always have that, though.
No, we didn't.
You know, and that's something I do really want to shed light on, because I know that a lot of people listening to this podcast might hear us say, like, we are so fortunate to kind of have this tribe, but we haven't always had this tribe. And I'm not discrediting the tribe that we currently have, but we worked to have this. You know, like, everybody who is kind of in this space with us has kind of been on the same journey as us of healing and understanding and growing. And I think that if you're in a situation right now where you kind of feel alone, surround yourself with people that are willing to do the work too. Surround yourself with people that are like-minded. Surround yourself with people that are...
are on the same mission as you.
Yeah.
And honestly, even if that is 2 people, that is truly all you need.
Yeah.
If you have 2 people that wholeheartedly support you and love you, then stick with those people.
Yeah.
Because ultimately, it is about the love that surrounds you. It's not about the people that disagree with you. It's not about the people that go against you. It is about the people that are on the same exact mission that you are. Yeah,
and you also have us, which is why we're here, which is why we're in this podcast. The name Love Her kind of came about because Janessa kind of sent a picture of us when we were younger. It's more so a reflection of how far we've come as women, as a society, as individuals, and we would love to go back to the little girl that had no idea that this is where we would be and this is how far we would come. The one that was going through the trauma, that was sitting in her bedroom hoping for a better life.
That was just daydreaming about what we are living today.
This is our letter to her.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Love her. We do. We love her. We love every aspect of ourselves now, but it has been a journey for us to actually get here.
It has.
For so many aspects. And I'm so excited for us to continue sharing this with you guys, because there is a sense of self-love and peace and healing that you have to get to in order to get to this place. I can only speak about myself, but some days it is a lot harder, because when Mercury's in retrograde, honey, she be retrograding.
She's retrograding right now. Okay, this is why it took us 10 times to film this podcast.
Literally, when Mercury's in retrograde, when things just kind of feel off, when somebody from your past comes up, a past trauma, a past family member, a past experience comes up, it's not an easy journey. So I don't want to even sit here and make it seem like it is. But we're all in this together.
And like we said, it's important that you find other people. Nyia and I have found each other that truly just want the best for you and want the best for themselves. And I guess with that, kind of going back to the election a little bit and feelings, did you have anyone in your life that went the other way in terms of support, and how did you deal with that?
Oh my gosh.
Hard question, I know.
Oh, yeah. Well, for those of you that might know, for those of you that don't know, Mackenzie and I got engaged this year, and yes, we got engaged.
Getting a new cousin-in-law.
Whoop whoop! I mean, good luck. She's a little rough. No, I'm just kidding. Love you, babe. So Mackenzie and I got engaged this year, and we have so many amazing friends and family that have genuinely supported us. However, I was very outspoken about the election. Days leading up to it, I was very outspoken about it. I saw a video that said, you can't tell somebody you love them and then vote for somebody that's voting against the rights that support them and make them who they are. And I was so serious about that. So after the election, some people in our lives did vote the opposite way. And it was something that was really, really hard for me to sit with, because so many of those people have showed up for us in many different ways. And I think that us growing together as a couple and having a family and having, you know, a future with these people as well, when they have kids and we have kids, there are certain dynamics and conversations that we have to kind of set a boundary with, and start to speak up and speak out about. I definitely am still navigating those conversations and navigating how I feel towards those people now, and what we're going to do regarding our relationships with them, because I've always been somebody that's very outspoken with the people that I have in my life, especially those that are of the opposite race. My best friends, hey guys, I am that person that is saying to them, if you do not do the work to understand the most that you can to understand where I'm coming from as a Black woman, if you do not do that work, we cannot be friends. So to have other people in our lives that I then have to have those conversations, new people in our lives that I then have to have those conversations with again, feels draining.
100%.
It feels like something I don't want to have to go through, but I also feel like it's part of my mission.
Definitely.
Because I've grown up in spaces where I've been the only Black girl. I've been the token Black girl. I've been more comfortable around white people than I do Black people because of those reasons, and we can get into that in another podcast. But I know that I have a different level of, I don't know if I want to say respect, but a different approach to the situation because of how I've grown up. And I think that that is part of my power.
Yeah.
You know, and being able to kind of be in spaces where I am respected, where Black people normally aren't. And I feel like it is part of my journey to have these conversations and shift the perspective of those that kind of lead their morals in ignorance. So I know that a day will come where we have to have more rough conversations, and Mackenzie and I are kind of prepping for those conversations. And
you have to.
Yeah, like the other day, not the other day, but when we were talking about the results of the election, I kind of said to her, like, what are we going to do? Like, what are we going to do about these people? What are the conversations going to be like? And, you know, she just looked at me and said to me, we need to do more research. We need to do more research on the other perspective.
Yeah.
And I was like, you're so right, because I'm so ready to rebuttal, but if I don't understand where they're coming from, they're not going to listen to me. Because
definitely,
you know, they're going to come to me immediately and be like, the economy. And I really, at the end of the day, I don't have a rebuttal for the economy. I have a rebuttal for the things that I believe in, and I'm not a heavy economist. So if I want to be able to have a conversation and be able to genuinely relate to these people that I care about, it needs to be work being done on both ends. And that's kind of how I feel is the best way to approach that, you know?
Yeah.
What about you?
I think, so right after the election, Luke and I, we were with some of my friends, some of my male friends, and a few of them are in the military. And so we kind of all went out, and there was this one guy there that I had met before, but hadn't seen him in many, many years. And again, he's in the military. And all of the men there were very much supportive of Donald Trump. And again, it was fresh after the election. So it was a very sore topic. But we were all kind of sitting on the roof. And this one male that was kind of new to the group that was in the Army, he got pretty drunk. And he was very, very angry. Like, he just was drinking and was kind of being disrespectful toward the other people that were there, and just anger was exhuming from his body. Like, I felt like I could feel his energy. And I kind of had an epiphany in that moment, because I looked at him and I said, are you angry because no one here understands the things that you have seen or the things that you are about to see when you get deployed? And him and the other guy who were in the military, they looked at me and they were like, yeah, I'm angry about that.
Yeah.
And in that very moment, I realized that for people that support Donald Trump, they're never going to see the pain of Black women, the pain of gay women, the pain of anyone
Right.
that is affected by these things, because if you are not fully healed, you are too clouded by your own pain.
Right.
And in that moment, I related to that guy because
Yeah.
there have been so many times in my life where
They're not going to get it.
I would sit in a room with people and I would say, like, no one knows what it's like to have brothers that died, but I do.
Yeah.
And so regardless of what their pain was, I couldn't feel it and I couldn't hear it because my pain felt so big.
Yeah.
Because I had never acknowledged my own pain, right? And so I think how I kind of want to approach this in terms of people in my life that support Donald Trump is, if you support him, I understand that you have a lot of pain in your life that you haven't confronted.
Yeah.
And so you can't see my pain.
Right.
And I kind of think that we have to stop playing the hating people game because we're not going to get anywhere that way. We have to start playing the empathy game here.
We have to move in empathy.
We do.
I saw a lot of people saying that, you know, and I actually saw somebody who's very close to us posted something the day after the election that was like, we're not going to get anywhere hating each other. We're not going to get anywhere fighting over politics. So I do want to touch on that because I feel like a lot of people feel a certain way about that statement in general. This isn't about politics. I feel like this election was not about politics.
It was about morals.
It was about morals. It was about human rights. There was something I kept saying, like, it is about really your moral compass, and
It is.
that's why people get so angry at that statement, because it wasn't about politics. And I just want to put that out there, that we understand that it is so much more than having empathy, because we are so angry. You do have to kind of sit with the emotion first to even be able to have the conversation, because you're not going to hear each other.
You're
ever.
Not. Ever.
So if you're trying to
Ever.
have the conversation with somebody who has completely opposing views than you have to within yourself be calm.
I think that if you're in a place where you're so angry about the whole thing, and that's okay. Like, I have been angry. Nyia has been angry about this. That is okay. But if you feel that way, recognize it, and maybe recognize that that's not the time to convince other people.
Yeah.
I think you have to wait until your emotions are a little bit settled, till you've given yourself the time to feel them. And then when that does happen, you can try to engage in those conversations with people.
Yeah. But I think it is, and I know that's not everybody's ministry. I know there are many women out there that feel like it's just not my job. It shouldn't be my job.
And that's okay.
That is okay. But if you do feel that drive to want to do something, I do encourage you to have those conversations. But first, take care of yourself.
Yes.
Take care of yourself. Feel through those emotions. Don't go into it hot, because when people come at you, or when, you're coming at another person in an aggressive tone, nobody is heard. And I think that that's something that I've learned within the last year, that even when we're talking to people in our lives that have hurt us, that it's so important to take a different approach and to see them as human beings first, instead of the actions that they have done.
And we also have to understand that not everyone's going to see life in the same way as we do.
Yep.
We've learned this when healing relationships with our parents, our partners, whoever it may be. If we want someone else to understand us, we have to try to look at it through their lens.
Yep.
Even if their lens is more privileged than ours.
Putting yourself in their
Even if their lens
shoes.
has not had the experience, it's still important to do that.
For sure. Yeah. At the end of the day, as women, there is a role that we play in society, and we have to step up and play a part in creating change. Because there is a lot that is going to happen within the next 4 years.
A lot.
And we have to come together to create that change.
And us women have to recognize that we're more powerful than we think.
We're the most
so
powerful
freaking
beings
powerful.
in the universe.
Ever. And like I always think about this. Think about the fact that women can have two bodies in
Yeah.
their body at the same time.
Yeah.
They can have 2 lives in their body at the same time. That's incredible.
Yeah.
And us women, we're unstoppable. So
Unstoppable.
despite these difficult events, we can have the conversations. We can break through to people.
Yeah.
And we can inspire. And that's kind of why we're creating this podcast, I
Yeah.
guess.
We love all of you guys. And with that said,
We have letters
Yes.
from our audience that they have written to share to other women, some quick memos, advice,
Yeah.
questions, all of the things. So we're kind of just going to read them and talk about it. It's kind of going to be a little segment toward the end of every episode. So yeah.
okay. So, love her. It's actually really love, comma, her.
Yes.
The ending of a letter, because we want this obviously to be a letter to all of you, to our younger selves, to women out there. I think I put to us, to her, to we, to she,
To
to
anyone.
anybody who feels like a woman, that
Yes.
is a woman,
that wants to embrace life, enjoy, and
Embrace
inspire
femininity.
other women.
Yeah, is femininity, is that the word?
Yes.
Femininity.
Femininity. You got it.
Yes. So, we both put on our stories. If you have a letter to write, please feel free to share. And we did get some really good ones. So we want to share some of those with you now.
This setback is just that, a setback. This isn't permanent. We owe it to ourselves and all the women and minorities in the past to continue the fight for our and their voices. We will not be stopped.
I love that.
I love that so much.
That is literally our power wrapped into one letter to all women.
Yes.
And the setback is the setback, but it's not even a setback.
Just forward.
Yes, it puts fire in us.
Yes.
And I can't even imagine how terrified people are. But at the same time, allow that horror, fear, to light something in you. That's all that is. You know what I mean? Like you said, everything happens for a reason. And this is the time that we as women come together.
It is, and I think also trusting that if we're doing our part, those individuals that maybe don't take the time to understand other people's emotions, that are spreading hatred, understanding that if everything happens for a reason, they're going to learn those lessons.
Yep.
And that if we just sit back and do our jobs as being incredible women, connecting with one another, educating ourselves, then karma's going to take care of them.
Yeah.
And it's not a setback because everything in life is a lesson. We're all here to learn. And so in the end of this, I think it'll allow us to be the versions of ourselves that we're meant to be.
Yeah, Earth is a school for souls.
It is. Life is a school for the soul. And
Yeah.
who knows what grade we're in, but we're climbing.
I never know what grade I'm in.
Hey, there were a few years I probably stayed back, but now I'm accelerating, so that's all that matters.
Right, exactly. Okay, so another one. I know times are scary right now, and the uncertainty of it all leaves us filled with anxiety, but just know we're in this together, and we all have a voice.
Yes.
I love that. We are all in this together, and we do have a voice. And I think that as women, we tend to forget that we have a voice. We tend to forget our power, and it really is the society we live in. We are bred to feel like we do not have a voice and we do not have power when we are genuinely the most powerful forces in the universe.
And we're also taught that we need to have this fear.
Yeah.
We live in a fear-based society. Our generation is taught that anxiety is the go-to, but we're here to tell you, first of all, it's normal to feel anxious at times.
Yeah.
But also, you don't have to live in a state of anxiety.
Yeah.
If you have your tribe with you, if you have healthy coping mechanisms, a great mentor, therapist.
Yeah, you have to find those.
You have to, so that you're not living in that fear-based bubble, but rather you're thriving in a world regardless of what other people are doing.
Yeah, and I used to live in a fear-based bubble.
Yeah.
I was living on my own in a cute little apartment in Buckhead. And granted, I should have been fearful because sometimes I wasn't fearful enough. But there were days where I really was, where I was afraid of death.
Yes.
I was afraid to leave the house. And I had to get to a place of like, this is debilitating. And I have to, is that the word? Debilitating? Debilitating or debilitating? What's the word?
Debilitating.
Debilitating.
There's no H.
It's not Guys, I don't really, my words, they don't always come out the right way. But I have a good message.
Listen, spelling is not the forte, but thank God we don't have to write on this podcast.
It became very debilitating, and I got to a place where I realized I cannot live like this. And that kind of is what started me on my therapy journey. So if you are in a place and space like that where your anxiety is truly taking over your day-to-day, please seek whatever you need. I'm not going to say seek help, but if that's what you need,
then get it.
Oh my God. No. Okay. But all jokes aside, we also want to be able to provide you guys with resources. So if you are in a place and space where you do need any guidance, we're here. We're want to be able to provide these resources for you guys, and just know that you genuinely are not alone, especially in a time like this. Use your voice and find it. You've got to find it as a woman. Don't allow anything that society has put on us as women, do not allow it to set you back.
Yes, and it doesn't matter what age you are. It doesn't matter your life experiences. You are valuable. Mm-hmm. The things you have experienced and the things that you have to say matter. And they don't just matter to you, they matter to other people too.
Yeah, they do. Like when you get a voice and you start, it's funny because we actually have been going to seminars together, women's seminars together, and we kind of were strangers for our entire lives. Yeah. But it's been really cool to see each other's strengths and the voice that each other has. I remember after one of them, you said to me in the car, I didn't realize how
outgoing you were.
Yeah.
And like we're all just so different and created so differently, and embrace who you are, because that is your voice. That's your strength.
Exactly.
So it doesn't matter if you're introverted, extroverted, if you're softer, or if you're more strong-willed, whatever that is,
use it to the best of your ability.
Yes, because there's always strengths to every single quality that you have.
Exactly.
And it has been so incredible, I think, getting to know each other, too, because we realize that we are quite different, but also similar.
So similar.
And
we are, like, that's just a woman, though.
Yes.
We are so much more alike than we are different.
Yes. And so in building your tribe, find those women that are like-minded, because we're different, but we're also very much similar in values and what we want. And that's what's going to matter. And the more people you have, the more your voice is amplified.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah. Should we do one more?
Yes.
Should we do Grams?
Yes.
So our grandmother, we love her so much. She's 72 years old. She did write in a letter. The rest are anonymous, but this one's from her because it was so good. She's so cute. We love her.
She's so cute. Okay. I am a 72-year-old Black woman, mother, grandmother, and sister, and part of the resistance. I was taught that I would never live to see what is going on in the country. This is supposed to be United States of America, the land of the free and the home of the brave. Not a country that a woman's rights are being taken away and the choice of who we should love or a woman's right to decide about their bodies should be changed. For every woman, please don't sit back and expect the other person to pick up the slack. Don't say, I'm not into politics or this doesn't concern me, because it does concern every single woman. As a woman, we do have the power to make a difference and to make our voices heard. We have the power, and we are doers, not quitters. We are the resistance. As Kamala Harris said, hard work is good work, and when we fight, we win. Let's not go back to the days when women did not have a voice. Ain't no stopping us now.
Isn't that so cute?
She's so cute.
She
and that
killed
was
that.
beautiful.
Yeah. I actually didn't read through the whole thing. When she sent it in, I was like, okay, Grandma, but I didn't read.
She popped off.
Okay, Grandma.
And, you know, her being 72 years old, she has seen history. She has seen the full scope of it.
Roe v. Wade, that's what you mentioned earlier.
It was created during her lifetime. It was passed during her lifetime. So to kind of see it go backwards, she understands what is at stake.
Yeah, she understands the repercussions more than many people.
Anyone our age does.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that to have a community of strong Black women that are the resistance, that are saying, despite what anyone else says, we deserve rights. We deserve love.
Do. Like, what makes us any different than a man? Man can do it, so can we.
We can do it better. Just kidding.
Oh, we can, though. Anyways.
But, yeah, I think, we also have to think about not just ourselves, but what we want to be as mothers, as grandmothers, and what we want our future daughters and granddaughters to experience.
Yep.
And at the end of the day, I'm thankful that I will always fight for women. I will always fight for what is right and to be the voice. And I know Nyia can say the same.
Yeah.
And we just want to empower other women to do the same so that our daughters don't have to feel this way after an election.
Yeah.
And our granddaughters definitely won't.
We're doing it for people beyond ourselves. And I think that's the real mission here, is that I really just hope that this podcast brings us all together so that we see the bigger picture. We see the value in all of us coming together to have tough conversations, to navigate these situations, to grow through the next 4 years of this presidency, this life, this journey. And we really hope that our letter to you and your letters to us impacts women all over the world.
And just know that us all women, we may not have started at the same place, but I want us to know that we're all going in a direction of love and happiness if we choose that. And this is a journey that Nyia and I are certainly heading toward.
Yeah.
And so this podcast is a way for us all to stay connected, to stay in touch so that we can stay on track to living the best lives possible.
Our accountability partners.
Our accountability partners.
Cheers to that!
Cheers to that! Love her.
Love her.
And love you.
Love you. Love Nyia.
Love Janessa.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We
Thank
love you guys
you.
so much. We will see you next time.
We will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
That was great content.